Good morning. Today we're going to look at section 7.2 and circles. Circles is one of the forms of something called a conic section. The equation of a circle is found using the following formula. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where the center of the circle is found by taking h comma k, and the radius of the circle is r. An example of a circle is the Ferris wheel. Our first example, we need to graph x minus 5 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 16. Before we graph, we need to pick out the center. So this is h, this is k. So h, you always take the opposite, so that's 5. K, you take the opposite, -1. So we have a center at 5, -1. The equation equals 16, that is r squared, therefore r equals 4. As we graph this circle with a center at 5, -1, and a radius of 4, you always start with the center. So the center, we go out 5, down -1. And then from this center, we're going to go 4 units in every direction, up, down, left, and right. After you have your main points, make sure when you connect those 4 points that you connect them in the shape of a circle. You should not be drawing straight lines and turning it into a diagonal. Okay. On number 2, we need to find the equation and then graph. When we're given the circle is centered at 4, -3, and it has a radius of 5. So we're given the center, h, k. So the standard form of the equation, x minus h, and h is 4, quantity squared, plus y minus k, but notice k is a -3, so minus a negative becomes plus 3 squared equals the radius of 5 squared. So 5 squared is 25. As we graph, we're going to start with the center at 4, -3. And then from the center, we're going to go every direction, 5 units. And with those 4 points, draw your circle. Right. At this point, I want you to pause the video and on your own, complete examples 3 and 4. All right, so you should have paused the video so that you could complete 3 and 4 on your own. Now that you've done that, here's the answers. On number 3, you had to find the equation and graph the circle that was centered at -7, -2 with a radius of 3. So the equation, using the same general form, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, gives us x plus 7 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 9. As we graph it, we start at the center of -7, -2. And then from the center, you go out 3 units in every direction. And that gives us the circle. Number 4, we were given the equation x plus 2 squared plus x minus 6 squared equals 4. The center of that circle is -2, 6, with a radius of 2. So starting with the center on our graph, we go over to the left 2 and up 6. And from the center, go a radius of 2 in every direction. All right. So the last part, what I want you to do is I want you to find 2 objects somewhere around your house or your backyard that are in the shape of a circle. I want you to measure the radius of the circle. Now, if you don't have a ruler, there are measuring apps on your iPhones. So search in the App Store for a measuring app and download one. There should be lots of free ones. Once you've done that, I want you to create a center for each of your circles. One of your centers can be centered at the origin, but the other one needs to be centered away from the origin. You get to pick whatever you want. Then write the equation for the circle that describes that object. The next thing you're going to do is open the Google Doc that's right here and enter your information about each object. All right, so I do want you to take a picture of your object, include the picture, your equation, the center, the radius, and make sure to include your name. And do that for 2 objects. All right, if you have any questions, send me a text or an email, or I will open up a discussion tab on Canvas. All right, thanks. See you later.